You are listening to the Hello Sport podcast. People can just fucking, and for those of you who are just dropping in on this conversation, yeah, we're getting a little techie to start. 4K, I think we all know that. 4K means good in filming terms.
It means either like 4K, like a bundle of cash, 4K, or 4K definition. I don't really
fat
understand.
Stacks of cash, or it means you can see like you can see my thoughts basically. The picture's so clear.
So is 4K essentially 1080p times 4 less 320p?
Pretty much. K is talking about 1,000 pixels.
I thought we were also up to 8K as well.
We are. When we went TV hunting, before we found the manta
So
ray.
if we're already up to 8K, but you can't really upload a 4K video to YouTube unless you got 5 days, like I feel like we're getting left behind a little bit.
No, but I think they just make these developments, right? Like, think about when they made cameras in phones. They were the fucking worst thing in the world, but you could do it.
Remember you used to have to like plug it into the bottom?
Yes, we got one of those. Do you know what
I didn't have one of them.
Do you know what my parents did for me once? It fucking, thinking back on it now, you know, fuck you, mum and dad. They got me a phone for my birthday or for Christmas. I don't remember what it was, but it was one of those cool Nokia ones. And it came with the camera. They gave the camera to my brother. The camera was completely useless without the phone. And they gave it to him. So like, well, he gets the camera, you get the phone, so you can share it. I'm like, how in the fuck does that make sense?
But you couldn't use the camera without the phone.
Nah.
Would he use your phone to use the camera?
He'd have to.
Would you use the camera to use on your phone?
What do you mean? It was the only way I could use the fucking thing. I couldn't take... If I wanted to use the camera...
You had to ask Will.
I had to ask Will.
And if he wanted to use the phone, he had to ask you.
Me. Why am I giving you my phone? Like, what's the point of that? I was like...
Did you want a camera phone? Would you have been happier with just a phone that you didn't have to share?
Well, I didn't have to share the phone. Technically, I could have said, well, that camera is now obsolete because I'm not giving you my phone. I wanted a camera phone. Now, I believe it was around the time when...
Fucking pretty ritzy, mate, getting one of those.
Mate, I honestly think it was around the time when cameras were already in phones. This was my parents fucking me.
Yeah, right. What was your first phone?
Black Motorola flip phone. That was a gift from a family friend who, like, they didn't need it anymore.
The Motor Razor or just like a regular
No,
flip?
the Razor was
Dave,
a bit
the
later.
Razor, I was fucking 18 years old, mate.
You wouldn't have been...
Or 16.
Razor was like...
I was in year 10 or 11.
Yeah. They were a hot piece of ass.
Can you come and pull the TV out so you can get up old phones? No, I had an old Motorola. Dude, the thing was fucking tiny. It was so dope. Like, and obviously it wasn't, but it was like that big. Edward, you're not looking at me. You're off in a daze. You okay? You with us? Where are you?
I'm here.
You all right? It's like that big. Little aerial. That I think you could pull
Dude,
out.
those beta little aerials, bro, they were cute.
But dude, they look like...
seemed unnecessary.
Yeah,
though.
well, but they obviously weren't at the time. But they just look like burner phones from like the Bourne Identity, which seems to be kind of a lot.
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. I
What was your first phone?
So my first phone was like not the 3310, not the 3315, one after that.
Well, we'll find out what that was. 3320?
No, but it wasn't a 3320. It came out like just after. It was a Nokia something. Dude,
they were so sick.
I was so jealous of people that had 3315s. You used to be able to get Rip. Was it Roxy? Girls got the Roxy one, and boys got like a Rip Curl or Quicksilver, maybe Quicksilver one.
Covers?
The covers.
Different covers.
They look fucking dope, dude. And I was so jealous. And I was like, why the fuck can't I have a phone?
All right, what do we got here?
Was yours something like this, Eddie?
No, that's the 3315.
No, that's a
3310,
3310, dude.
Dude, the 3310s were so cool.
Dude, the 3310.
Make sure you're putting this on screen for all you fucking younger bastards who
The
don't know.
3310.
Not those, Dave. Jesus.
No, I know. Eddie said the one model up from the 33.
No, but
whatever.
this isn't the model up. This is modern technology here. This isn't. Look at that screen, Dave.
doesn't get it.
No, I know.
He doesn't.
Yeah, well, give me a model number and I'll find it.
We don't know the model number. This is we
How
need you
the
to.
fuck would I remember the model number?
Well, how do you expect me to know it
anyway,
then when I wasn't
You
even
said-
alive?
No, okay, but you've got to go early Nokia
Let's
models.
not get bogged down in this because I can't even see it. We need to get one over here.
Yeah,
It's
we are
too
going to
annoying.
get a TV here. We're like right there.
The 3310 punters and dribblers, for those that recall it, I remember it because I borrowed it off mates, was it the OG of phones for our generation?
Yes.
I would say. It
But
had
see,
Snake on it, bro. Do you remember?
Yeah, dude, it had. So there's one, just turn your head hard, down in the bottom, that green one. That was the first one. The one that's right down the bottom that has the green case on the front.
With the little aerial.
The little aerial?
Yeah.
So that was the first one. That wasn't our generation though, but that was the first one that my mum had. My dad had one that was like a fucking briefcase.
So did my dad. It was Optus. You had to unzip it and like unfoil it and shit. You have to like 50 aerials on your car just to get a signal.
Yeah. But mum had that one with where you could change the covers, and that was like, oh, this is the fashioning of like phones becoming fashionable, different colors. Mum's was like electric blue. My 3310s and shit. That was when it was.
That was OG. My dad was spinning with this yarn when because he used to live out on the farm and it was like 20 k's out of town, right? Growing up, he lived on the farm that he ended up owning, and he was saying that.
Your dad did?
Yeah, he was saying that if you got a call, anyone that is earlier on the line could like pick up the phone and listen to your conversations.
Wait a minute. So
like there was like a line that would come like down the fucking like the highway or whatever, and anyone previous on the line could pick up the phone
at any point, even if you'd already answered, they could pick it up.
Even if you'd already answered, I'm like, that's fucking outrageous.
I guess the conversations at that time would have been
like what it wouldn't have been. What are you wearing?
No,
like,
exactly. You wouldn't have been having phone
Are you
sex.
touching yourself?
No, it'd be like, oh, we need 300 head of cattle up here to bloody, it's like a walkie-talkie. You assume everyone.
Well, meet me at the cinemas.
Meet me at the cinemas at 2:30.
Don't be late. Be prompt.
The phone, we came up in I would argue we came up in like the glory years of phones, in the sense that phones now are just all cool.
I don't think that is even up for debate, dude. We came up in the age of polyphonic ringtones that you could buy. Would you buy them online? I think you did.
Something like that.
Dude, do you remember the start of is it MMS? Was that
SMS,
where you could send
MMS
photos.
was pictures.
Where you had to like download them online?
Yeah.
You couldn't download them on your phone. You had to like send them and you'd be like, you got an MMS. And you have to go on the internet to download it. Yeah, bro. That's old school.
Old school, dude. Old school. But then like just seeing the progression, because the progression was quite rapid, right? So it was like you had these hunks of shit that were groundbreaking.
I tell you what, I think as although we're supposed to be living in exponential times, I don't think that the changes to phones are as great as the changes we got back then. Like you'd go from you'd go from black and white to camera phone to polyphonic ringtones to music to multimedia messages to fucking infinite text messages,
internet on your phone, apps,
fucking unlimited phone calls, apps.
Once you hit the iPhone, that was
once you hit the iPhone, it's all the same.
Yeah,
it works slightly better. The screens look better. The camera's better, but it's all the same shit.
But before the iPhone, we didn't have touch screen. We were hitting buttons.
Like this is the iPhone. I think this might be the iPhone 13. The difference between this and the iPhone 8, nothing.
Speed probably. And
Speed, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
Speed.
It's been like the passage of like phones moving. It's so funny the way it went from like you had your massive phones and then we got down to really tiny phones, but then they worked out those were too small and then they started going up again. They went too big, but now we've just kind of like
this is the biggest
settled.
fucking phone I've ever had.
Yeah.
It's so
That's
large.
dumb. It's so big.
It's dumb big. Initially it was good and then it became not good more quickly than it was good, if that makes sense. But the small phone was cool at the time, but then once you've got a phone like this, like we have, it doesn't really make sense for it to be fucking small because you can't see anything. So now what your size, I'd say, is probably the reasonable size.
I tell you why I like this size, because I can text with one hand.
That bottom black Motorola V3688, I think that was the one I had.
The ones that the Razors were the fucking, they were all the
Razors were hot, dude. Again, that was a progression.
Surely Motorola Razor, that was the zenith of Motorola.
Like that's as good
that
as
was their best
been.
work.
Well, that was probably when they were like the hottest shit in town, for sure. The Razor was so sick. Flip phone, thin. The flip phone I missed because it was cool. Flip to open.
Speak. You know what I mean?
What do you want?
Hang up.
And you were like a bit of a sick cunt.
Yeah,
like,
you look
boom.
kind of cool if you could flick a phone open. Bang. What do you want?
That's not there anymore. Like I pick up the iPhone and I've got sunnies on and it doesn't recognize my face, even though I'm promised it should. And then I have to wait an age for it to give me the passcode option. I'm like, hurry the fuck up, cunt. Realise I got sunnies on. No, you don't know it's me. Stop trying to work it out. Give me the fucking passcode option.
See, I don't use the
The time I wait for that shit.
Why do you
is
even do
measure.
it? I never ever choose that. Like when they're like, do you want to set up face recognition? No.
Because it goes so swimmingly until something fucks out deep within the phone's soul and it just stops doing its job.
I got in trouble by my high school girlfriend because her friend called.
Which one?
I'm not going to name people on here.
Well, let me know.
Well, it doesn't matter, right? It's honestly not a big deal for the issue.
Well, I'd like to know.
Well, you can fucking know afterwards. You can ask me afterwards. And she got angry at me because her friend called me crying because she dropped her phone in her Razor, pink Motorola Razor, in the toilet. Her friend, nothing to do with my girlfriend at the time, friend dropped her phone in the toilet and broke it, called me crying about it, and I wasn't sympathetic enough, and I got in trouble. I'm like, what did you want me to do? Like,
did she
drop all plans?
So the friend dropped your girlfriend's phone?
No. The friend dropped her own phone.
And you weren't sympathetic enough to your friend's...
Her friend called me.
That's high school shit, dude.
That's some high school
shit. That's some high school shit right there.
Her friend called me. My girlfriend had nothing to even do with it at the time. Like, she didn't even communicate it with me. It was that her friend dropped in the toilet, and her friend called me. I have no reason why she called me, and I wasn't sympathetic enough. I don't know what I needed to do there. It's like, oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe don't fucking...
That's some high
and also,
school shit.
It was like the second or third time she had dropped a phone in the toilet. I'm like...
So she had done it for.
She had history.
I once dropped my phone. I got a brand new... it was a Nokia ThumbPad one.
The game one?
Nah.
Engage?
No, not an Engage.
Will had an Engage. My brother was a phone whore.
Like a Nokia, but with it was like a BlackBerry, but a Nokia version.
Okay, gotcha.
Day one, dropped it in the pisser. I'm like, oh my God. Just took it out, took the battery out and just let it dry in my pocket and then just put it in the morning and fucking hunky-dory.
And it worked?
It worked, thank fuck.
You're just like silently hoping to cry. Is that what it is?
Yeah. The
Blackberries were huge as well. Like, I don't get why they were so big. Was it just because it had like real email function?
I think that they were geared towards the suit.
Yeah.
The white collar man.
Feel like you're busy.
I think as well BlackBerry was under the impression that they shouldn't be threatened by iPhone, and that all businessmen need a keypad on their phone. How wrong they were. BlackBerry give me real Kodak vibes. Where Kodak were king of the world, and they go, you know what, bro? We're not doing digital cameras. Are you sure? Because you got the means to. You could.
So Kodak actually spurned the opportunity to go dig.
And they said no.
Yeah, silly.
They said no. And now they've, like, we're down in Tasmania and there's like the old Kodak signs that would be on side of buildings. Mm-hmm. There's heaps of them down there, almost like they're heritage listed.
Yeah, well, they look like relics. It's like, oh, is that the Sphinx?
It's like an old cinema.
Oh, it's like the Sphinx. You know what I mean? Oh, wow, that's old. I wonder who created that. It's like, what's Kodak, Dad? I barely remember.
Kodak's dead.
Yeah, Kodak is dead.
Well,
no, it's still going, I think.
It's not dead,
they still print photos.
The glory is behind them.
On fucking up phones, I remember we were down on a holiday somewhere, like with, I think it was with Sebo's family, but like heaps of families would go down, and Streety was down there, and a bunch of girls that we knew.
He would have lost some fucking phones in his time.
Bro, he would have lost more phones than anyone living or dead.
Richard Casey would give him a real run for his money.
He might give him a run, Eddie.
I'm telling you right now, Richard would give him a run. I'm not saying he's coming away with the chockies, Tom.
But he'd give him
I'm
a
not
run.
saying
He'd push him all the way.
All I'm saying is it'd be a fucking fight for the ages.
So,
it'd be Gary Hall Jr., Thorpe, 2000 sort of
Casey
stuff.
and Street and Casey going phone for phone here. Streety trying to be just look cool. We all got down to the beach like a bit hung. And all the girls who were also down there from like another school or something were down there that we knew. And you're sort of like, you're trying to act cool.
Yeah.
And Street runs down in his jeans and just takes his shirt off and runs down to the water and jumps in the ocean in his jeans. And
to be a sick cunt.
To be a mad dog. And then as he dives in the water, then he gets up and realizes his phone's in his pocket and goes, oh, fuck. And it just like, whatever coolness he thought that he was like getting out there was completely washed away by...
Did everyone start laughing at him?
Yeah, dude, because it seemed like trying to then like soggy pants like rush out of the water, but it's like it's already hard enough. Even in boardies, right? And then he's like pulling his phone out and you're just like, you are a fucking idiot.
I've been in the pool once with my phone and now it's just I tap like it's going out of fashion.
Dude, yeah, you're playing the spoons.
Bang, I'm just brrr. Jesus. I feel like Travis Barker.
Shout out to Travis Barker.
Shout out to him.
Shout out, that album turned 23 yesterday.
Which one? Enema of the
The
State.
Blink 182, yeah, I think so. Turned 23.
Enema of the
Enter
State.
the State turned 23.
Yeah.
So what? 99.
Nobody
Holy
likes you when
shit.
you're 23.
That was my favorite album of all time. At the time.
Enema of the State is. That's as good as it gets.
I have a sleeve signed by all them.
You know that they fucking released. I was watching Architectural Digest on YouTube the other night. It's a good like. It's really late in the piece. We finished our TV show. I need another 15 minutes of shit to knock me out.
Yeah, right.
Travis Barker's on there. He's showing his house off. And I'm like, I wonder if Blink are still making music. They released an album in 2019. Do you know?
Yeah, but the fucking
one of the guys
one of
gone.
my faves, Tom, who was like there's three main dudes, right? It's Travis, Mark, Tom. Then
Did Tom leave or Mark?
Tom left. Mark got cancer. I think he beat it.
Yeah, I think so.
And Tom's like an alien fucking.
Yeah.
He
He's
chases
super
aliens.
into his aliens.
Does he?
Dude, he was on Rogan talking about it.
Well,
and
there's
it
a
was,
song, Aliens Exist.
Yeah. It was a meandering shit show of an interview and he didn't come off very well. But there was some stuff that he said on there about aliens and about like these cover-ups, which I think came out to be true. Do your own research. Too deep for me to even work out or remember what it was, but that is my memory of it. I wish he'd come back because whoever the hell they brought in, I assume isn't good. But I'm also like, I'm not worshipping at the altar of Blink 182 anymore. But I was fucking obsessed
but you better
with
believe
them.
I was. Enema of the State is the songs on that album are fucking.
They still hold up, dude. All the small things.
Dude, I listened to them the other day. Aliens Exist, Adam's song, all the small things.
Here's a funny story. So, my old man, we had a family friend who was like a muso or something. I can't remember what she did. She was a singer. And she came over to our house once for lunch. I don't know. But I had my drum kit in my bedroom. And either her or Dad was like, oh, you should play a song for her. I think Dad said it. He was like, oh, you should play a song for her. Because I'd been drumming for a while then. And I get in there and I start playing Adam's song, which is, as a drum song, it's kind of weird. Like it starts slow and it's off beat. Like it's kind of not a normal beat. It's a bit weird. But it was like my favorite song at the time. And it was the one that I thought I was fucking killing it the best. So I'm playing it and they're sitting on my bed looking at me and I'm fucking getting into it. And then I'm like, maybe I'm like a third of
How old are you?
10, 12.
Yeah.
Whenever that album came out, like around then.
99, I think so.
And I'm like a third of the way into it, and I can see that it's not necessarily a song to like get the fans going, you know, but like it is the song that it is. And when it gets into it, I'm fucking into it, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm doing it, but like a third of the way, and Dad goes, "No, play something else." Play something else. And I was like, "Oh,
What did you go with?
Dude, I don't remember what I went with. I just remember being like super embarrassed. And if Dad listens to this, he'll probably feel bad. Don't worry, Dad. But I'm over it, clearly.
Clearly you're over it.
I literally told the story the other day as well, so clearly over it. But
Yeah, he's over it.
yeah, no, he rocked me with that one. But shout out to Adam's song.
Shout out to Adam's song, absolute track.
Eddie, I know that you and I, as I blow away that feather that just blew into my face, I know that you and I, you know, we've let ourselves go a little bit over the last few months and we have maybe not been as tight, trim, taut, terrific as we have been in the past. Need to lose a little bit of weight, you might say.
Look, you could argue that, Tom. You could argue that I've taken 6 months off. You could argue that I've really taken the piss, whereby it was just supposed to be for silly season, but now it's fucking almost June and I'm only starting to get into my work now. Like, you could argue I'm taking the piss.
Now, pilot.com.au is where you go for all of your men's health needs. It's online and it's easy, motherfuckers. You may not need it today, you may not need it tomorrow, but you will at some point. And whenever that is, pilot.com.au, use the promo code dribblers and you're going to get your first doctor's consult for free. You're also able to get prescription medication discreetly delivered to your door. Now, that could be in the form of something to help you with your weight. It could be to help with... What's that I'm pointing to? I'm pointing at your dick.
Oh, my penis. Sure. Erectile dysfunction. I was just going to say, around the weight loss stuff, Tom, if you've really let yourself go and you've fucking taken the piss out of yourself in regards to a silly season that's now 3 or 4 years in length.
Silly decade.
Go see Pilot, dude.
Yeah.
Because there is assistance at the fingertips, at your fingertips.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Get those Mars bars away from your fingertips and get your fingertips over to your keyboard.
Put down the curly swirly squirrelies, all right, and go to the computer.
Pilot.com.au. Promo code dribblers. First doctor's consult for free.
Boom.
Make smart decisions.
Boom. It's actually funny that you bring up that alien stuff because Dior was in our chewing area off earlier about fucking aliens for about 20 minutes before you arrived.
Yeah.
In regards to this guy that Spaniard had interviewed the other day, who's Spaniard had interviewed this guy the other day, an alien lover or an alien guy.
Well, was
basically just to before you go into it. Obviously, the US government's declassified a lot of video footage, and that they're now doing investigations into it to be like, what exactly is this? I was sort of under the impression that there was a possibility that it was either like recording error or potentially something Chinese, for argument's sake. Not that it was, more of an indication that it was extraterrestrial. However, Dave's like, no. They're thinking it's ET shit.
Yeah, that was my understanding.
That is out there in the public domain.
And like no one gives a fuck.
It's out there, bruh, but it's not out there. And I'm starting to. I'm just sort of sitting here today, and I've just been mellowing in what David said. I've been marinating in it. I know how big the universe is. I know how big it could potentially be in terms of like it could very well be infinite, and there could be infinite. We could be in one of infinite universes in the multiverse. So yeah, it's highly fucking probable there's someone else. I'm just never really allowing myself to be like, are they right here, right now, checking in? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then all this shit comes out and you're like, well, hang on. Why is no one fucking talking about this shit?
I tell you why they're not talking about it.
Well, you tell me.
Because Johnny Depp and Amber Heard have a defamation lawsuit against each other.
Sure. I understand that, which is
you
really,
ever seen Bill Hicks? Go back to bed, America. American Gladiators is on. It's like, no one gives a shit.
But why don't they care?
Because they're distracted,
but you say that they're distracted. I get that. I understand they're distracted. That's fine. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. It's it's interesting stuff for a lot of people.
It's not that interesting, but it is
for a lot of people. Clearly, it is.
Yeah, no, I know.
And you say it's a distraction. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's a distraction. But I'm like, how is this not more distracting?
Because I would say it is. Maybe that it's not hard concrete evidence. It's like unidentified still. It's like, oh, we don't know. I'm with you, dude. I'm like,
and it aligns heavily with those hicks that live out in the fucking in the middle of America who,
like, oh yeah,
even I got probed. And
dude,
shit.
the same
like,
way
bro, that was just a bloke.
The same, basically because of the reason that you outlined for not thinking it was real. Like I have, again, very fucking barely, but obviously more than you, been paying attention to it. I obviously am a consumer of Joe Rogan's podcast, and he's into that shit.
The Bob Lazar one was look, the Bob Lazar interview was interesting.
It was interesting,
but I can't. It
wasn't concrete by any means.
But I wouldn't be able to sit down and swear on my life that I 100% believe that.
Fuck no, dude. But you'd be silly. But you'd be silly to 100% believe anything. Like, you know what I mean? For me, more, I think when you like with the Lazar one, or with anything where it's like, you would have to believe that government agencies are lying and covering shit up. I'm like, well, that's not hard for me to believe because they lie about heaps of shit and they cover up heaps of shit. So I'm not saying...
That's not a massive stretch for me. It's more, is this cunt...
Yeah.
Like, there's weird cunts out there that lie about shit all the time.
Absolutely there is. And it's very easy to dismiss people as that. And that's why... But I mean, that's why you don't believe it. That's why you go, oh, okay.
No, I don't. But I don't say one way or the other. I'm like, it's interesting.
But to me, and to what you're saying about probability of actual other things existing and the absolutely the absurdity of life and existence generally, like I would lean more towards believing it, to be honest, and not necessarily him, but just believing that they're out there. And then if they are,
but there's a difference
then
between
someone's going to have to have fucking seen it.
There is a big difference though. I will premise this: there is a big difference between there being other life and that life being here right now. They're not the same thing.
No, they're not. But I would say that if the universe is however many billions of years old...
13.2.
Thank you. Then the Earth is how old?
4.
Okay,
4 or 5.
So in
4
let's say 4. Let's say 4. Like in 4, we've got to where we've got. In 13...
No, I get
who the fuck knows, and that if they've got technology, they being whomever might else be out there, shout out to the X-Files, the truth is out there, then it's not that fucking hard to believe that maybe aliens are here paying attention. There's fucking a lot of things that you can't understand from the ancients that we don't know how shit got done. I'm not saying the aliens did it. I'm saying fucking I'm open to it, dude. Why wouldn't you be open to that?
I'm open to it.
To me, the people who aren't open to it are like, they've spent too long in cities where you don't see the stars. Because as soon as you get out to where
gaze up, bro.
When you get out to the fucking country and there's no light pollution and you look at the stars, you're like, oh, right.
It hits you right between the eyes, dude. You got to gaze up. Like, I might have said this in the podcast before, but it's worth saying again. One of these facts is true. Either we're alone or we're not. And they're both fucking wild.
I'd say being alone is more terrifying than not.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Who said it? Who said it recently? Maybe it is that humanity is just like a brief, like it's just like a flicker of consciousness in like endless black. It's just like this little sort of like.
It could be.
I don't like that version.
No, neither.
I prefer it to be fucking chock-a-block.
Yeah, teeming with life.
I'm team teaming.
Yeah, but I'm
team
also
team.
like,
I'm team, please.
you know, I just want to make
But
sure
also,
that, like,
if
the
I'm team
aliens
team,
aren't-
if
I've
I'm
seen
te-
Starship Troopers and shit. You know,
Yeah,
I don't
but
have aliens that want to eat us.
No, that's right. If I'm team, I want the aliens to be like really chilled, more like protector vibes.
Yeah, like
Which
maybe we're
which
like an
Dave can
endangered
speak to.
species.
Which Dave can speak to.
David?
Dave?
Yeah, well, I was
Sorry,
saying
we
that
haven't given you an
before.
opportunity to say anything.
Well, this is a good in.
No, that's all right. So basically what I was going off was this guy, Ross Coulthard, who we interviewed for Spanion. It'll come out on Tuesday, so listen to it. It's good.
Ooh, Dave wrote another podcast.
That's okay. That's okay.
Joking.
But yeah,
And
also
so
you'll have to
he's
pay
like a
for it.
very famous, like older Australian investigative journalist who's done a lot of work for 60 Minutes and the
Not
Sydney
related to
Morning Herald and
Fabian
stuff.
Coulthard, the race car driver, I assume.
Is it Fabian's brother or no?
I have no idea. I can look
Has he
it
got a
up.
chin on him?
Has he got one of the great chins in world
Has
sport?
he got a chin of substance?
It's not a huge chin.
Probably not, then.
But
Fabian
basically-
wasn't Aussie either.
No, he
So,
wasn't.
so his new thing is aliens, and he said like he went into it thinking, oh, you know, I'm an investigative journalist, I'm going to disprove this shit, and now he's a full believer. So he's spoken to like,
Oh shit, that's how he went into it.
yeah. He was like, I'm going to disprove this, and now he fully believes it. He's spoken with like military people, with like people in the Pentagon and stuff. And the one thing which was really interesting that he said is that there's a lot of alien activity around like nuclear sites and around where like armed nuclear weapons are. And he said there's been cases where, because you know, there's a guy who basically sits in the bunker with the key and the button, whose only job is to, when they call and say launch, he launches, but like no one comes in or out or whatever.
I don't like that that's the truth, because what if that guy's having a bad day?
No, there's other fail safes, but in essence, there is an element of that.
There's a guy who
because
pushes- I'm
these
sure he has to get
places
the
are
call.
literally cut off from. They're like concrete bunkers that are cut off from the outside world, so you can't access them.
I just hope
Via the
that,
internet and
I
shit.
hope
Does that
that
make
no
sense?
one who's got like the nuclear codes is like a Bulldogs fan. You know what I mean? Imagine that. Or, you know, fucking the Eels lose another player and this guy's like, fuck it. Are we losing? If we lost Madison, fuck it. Bang. Let's end this
That's
thing.
probably why Australia doesn't have nukes, because there's too many unhinged rugby league fans.
Yeah,
It just can't be
it just
trusted.
wouldn't be safe enough. Anyway, carry
But
on.
yeah, anyway, he said like he's spoken to these guys, and there's been a couple instances where they've sighted a craft that's been hovering over or near these nuclear arms, and they're basically shitting themselves. Like, what do we do? You know, how do we deal with this? And they're kind of like, yeah, observe, attack if you need, because, you know, these are fucking nukes, so we can't have them messing with it. And basically, just from like hovering in the air, the intelligence, which is what he doesn't use the word like life or extraterrestrial, because it could be aliens, it could be someone from a different multiverse or dimension, it could be future humans, it could just be
Could be technology,
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. Could be
Yeah,
intelligent
like
technology.
rather, why send fucking actual life when you could just send like a drone?
Well,
Exactly, yeah.
or it could just be like, if you walk out technology on this planet, eventually they're just going leaders.
As in like singularity, and then
I think they
take
just
us
go,
over.
we're out, bro. We're doing our
Yeah.
own thing now.
Yeah, like Terminator vibes.
Like Terminator vibes.
So some sort of intelligence, basically. And what it did was, in one instance, I think it turned all the nuclear arms off and disabled them.
I like this.
And the other one, it turned them all to armed, from standby to armed. And basically this dude was shitting himself, being like, these are pretty much ready to launch with the push of a button. But there is a strong belief that he said that a lot of these aliens or intelligence or whatever it is are kind of, in a way, looking out for us, protecting us, trying to warn us. Because there was another instance, which I mentioned earlier, in, I think, Botswana, where like a whole elementary school or something saw
Mass sighting.
these, yeah, exactly, mass sighting.
There's one in Australia. There was
In
one in
Adelaide
Australia,
in the
like,
60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mass UFO sighting where like hundreds of people saw it and corroborate the story. And there's like a few of them where like they see it craft like land.
So anyway, so that kind of happened in Botswana here.
There's a lot of it invites so many questions because I'm like, you're not trying to be subtle, are you?
But that's
They
what
are
happened.
and they aren't.
You know,
They would have.
if you have the ability to get here, cover vast distances, you could be a little more subtle than you've been landing a fucking craft in front of kids.
Yeah, but you could also, like, I guess if you've got...
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you got the technology to get here, maybe you're just clued into what's going on. Maybe they could have taken photos. If it was a photo, like, they could just have some Will Smith, like, pa-doo, where all fucking cameras stop working.
Potentially.
What do you mean potentially? If they're traveling through the universe...
Potentially. It's all potential. It's potentially.
Imagine if they didn't have something, like, basic like we do. Like, what the fuck's that? Like, it's a camera, you idiot.
Like, wow, that's...
We've learned to travel the universe, but we didn't know how to make a camera.
That's impressive.
That is.
That's impressive.
I wonder if they know how to measure forward passes in rugby league.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone does.
There's not a technology.
Well, I tell you
alive.
what they don't know. They don't know why wingers jam in.
No.
That's
Well,
probably
fuck
why they
no.
travel here to fucking work it out.
They were like, maybe these guys
We're going
know.
to study it. I would say this, though, on them protecting us. If they are, in inverted commas, protecting us,
Don't disrespect them.
I think the implication there is that our planet's super rare. Because if there's heaps of them, they wouldn't give a fuck. They're like, bro, whatever.
Like if we were just an anthill.
If we were just, exactly, you just kick the fucker over for a bit of a giggle. But if they're, you know, if there's only a handful of these civilizations / planets in all the universe.
But maybe it's more that we are the only version of ourselves, so we're worth protecting. There might be another planet that's an only version of whatever they are, you know?
Potentially, yeah. Potentially.
Might be a fucking the land of snails or something.
Potentially.
Let's protect these fucking this planet of snails.
It's interesting. It depends who you talk to. Like Elon Musk is like, he's pretty convinced that there's nothing out there. We may be the first.
Is he studying it though?
I saw him in an interview the other day. He goes, if anyone would know, it'd be me. That's what he said.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
would think that. He fucking thinks he's touching the smartest man
a bit of
in the
nerve
world.
here, bro.
I know.
Jesus.
Why are you
nerve.
anti-Elon?
He's insufferable. Okay, well, apart from the fact he's like, you know,
what don't you like about what he's doing for humanity?
because I don't think it's that good. I don't think his interests are in saving humanity, because there's lots of, you look at his electric cars and like that fucking weird tunnel he built in LA, which is a 1-lane tunnel, which is just terrible. Like if
he was trying to find, wasn't that
Boring
tunnel-
the tunnel. He's building tunnels under LA to ease congestion because flying cars don't exist. Well, they do. They're helicopters.
Okay,
they're
it's,
not sustainable.
Like
on
the
mass.
boring tunnel itself, I'm pretty sure it's a 1-lane road. There's no space for emergency
He's testing
vehicles.
it,
or whatever.
bro. He's trying to see
Anyway,
if it works.
Anyway,
he's not saying, here we go, I've done it.
I'm saying if he wanted
Also,
to,
battery. Electric cars is more building batteries that can fucking store renewable energy en masse.
yeah, do you know what?
Good for humanity. And then rocket technology to populate the rest of the solar system, and in doing so, the rest of the Milky Way to protect us from a fucking asteroid et al. Not the worst idea either.
Now, what
Okay,
is it?
I'll
What is
get
it about
to-
that you don't like? And we'll shut
There's
up.
something on both of those I'll comment on, but
Yeah.
I can preface this all with the fact that he made his wealth and his parents made him wealth in an emerald mine in Africa using slave labor. So it's not like he's some big self-made genius.
Yeah, but maybe he's trying to right those
I'm pretty
wrongs.
sure all his ideas were not
Says
his
the kid
ideas.
living at his parents' house
He
at
pays
Dude, he-
inventors. He's not an inventor himself. He's a good businessman.
No,
I'll give
that's
him that.
bullshit. He was the chief engineer at fucking SpaceX, the chief rocket engineer.
He's designing rockets to go up in space.
Yes.
I don't believe that.
Why?
What do you
Because
mean?
he's not he's like,
That's a fact.
he doesn't
Like,
know
why-
how to do that
you're
shit.
so-
because they're actual aerospace engineers.
No one would work for him. They all said no, so he had to do it himself. Read a book.
He had to do it himself.
I feel
That's why it's not that
I don't
good.
understand
Okay.
what it is that you're.
Why do you hate him so much?
because if that is
He's
the
not like
truth,
Jeff. Do you hate Jeff Bezos
Yeah,
more?
of
You'd
course.
better.
But why do you not why
Okay,
do
so
you
I'll-
choose to just not believe that?
I hadn't heard that he built them all
Right,
himself.
so are you just
I
looking
find
for
that hard
reasons to
believe.
hate this guy?
No. Okay. The short answer to this is I hate him because he's rich.
Right.
But the-
See,
but
But
again,
he doesn't
there's a
flaunt
longer
he's
answer.
rich. He lives in a fucking swag in the office.
Oh, bro. Okay, the longer answer, and to the 2 points you made before, the electric cars, if he wanted to save the environment, if he actually wanted to do something for transportation, to do something for congestion, public transport is the answer. The answer is not...
No, it's not.
Yes,
People
it
hate
is.
public transport.
Then make people like it, because that is the best answer to
okay,
congestion.
no, hold on.
to
How do you make people like it?
Make them nicer. Make buses nicer. Make them run on time.
People don't like sitting next to other people, bro. What
then
don't
make
you
it like
get
an
about
aeroplane
that?
where you can get a code. The thing is, we are not going to solve congestion by just changing it to electric cars.
People,
No, of course you're going to change. That's not. He's not
That's not
making
the
cars
point.
electric to solve congestion.
I understand electric cars are better than
mate,
petrol cars.
it is.
but
He's looking at like what is the logical stepping stone to get humanity from fucking fossil fuels to renewables? Battery power underpins everything. Battery storage of energy underpins the whole fucking thing. So he's literally found a vehicle, pardon the pun, to invent battery technology that we can then roll out to other uses via the car.
The battery he built in Adelaide is good. That's helping with like the whole solar thing. I don't, dude. And I'm not saying anyone's all good or all bad. I just overall don't like it.
You do, but you've gone so hard in the paint, and I don't know why.
And to the other point you made about trying to like save
What billionaire
humanity by
does
going
more
to-
arguably than him?
What? Sorry.
Bill Gates, maybe?
No, I
Bill
don't know.
Gates.
Dude, I'm not trying to defend
He's done
any.
a lot for
I'm not
life.
trying to defend any rich person.
Yeah, I know
here.
what
They
you
all
mean.
suck.
Epstein Island, bro.
Epstein Island.
Epstein Island, yeah. Yeah, there's a photo of Elon Musk with Ghislaine Maxwell. So
he definitely fucks kids then, right? Is that
yeah,
what you're saying?
definitely.
So Elon was in a photo with Ghislaine, but Bill, who you are a big
clear.
fan
I said
of,
nothing
was
about
on.
Bill.
You're
I
on
don't
your
like
own
Bill
for
either.
on Bill
pedo
Gates.
plane.
I'm not here defending any billionaire. They're all bad.
But you just because they've made money,
Okay.
dude, like
So
you
what
can't.
you're saying that if you make money, right, and you become a billionaire, you're a piece of shit. Like the Atlassian guys, Mike Cannon Brooks and shit, you hate them.
Surely not. They
Look,
just bought
not
an
on
AGL. He'd be
the,
on
not,
the
not on the same scale that I
they're
hate
billionaires.
Elon.
Yeah, no, I know. Mate, trust me.
They're worth like 10 billion each.
Yeah, but he's also spending his money on some good things, like South Sydney. Well, not a good thing, but a better thing. He's bought into Souths and he's doing other stuff. I don't know, he's a bit,
Buying into South.
Yeah,
So that's okay,
That's
but
all right,
building
trying to build
fucking-
fucking
Elon
batteries and
Musk-
shit for renewable
if
energy.
Elon Musk bought a footy team, I'd be a bit more, happy
you're off
about
your
it.
head.
No,
I think we can
haven't
all
even-
agree that your little argument's falling apart.
I haven't even finished the main points I was at yet. So, and the other thing is that when he said to the UN, because everyone was talking about like, how billionaires could like feed all the world with all their money. So he said to like the UN, give me the plan to do it, and I'll do it if you can actually come up with a plan with it. And they did, and he did fuck all.
I
And
was under the
there's
impression.
plenty of other things.
When it came to global hunger, most of it is to do with like oppressive leaders than access to food.
Yeah, I don't know, leaders
So
and
like most of the starving, I could be wrong, so I don't want to offend anyone, but like a lot of the starving, for example, North Korea, that is a direct correlation.
yeah.
The direct cause of that is fucking their dictator leader who's
Yeah,
starving
yeah.
his people as a form of control.
Yeah. But
As opposed to like there being
Not enough.
inadequate amounts
As
of
opposed
food.
to Elon Musk not giving enough of his money to the cause.
Yeah, it's definitely not a food shortage overall. Like, there's enough food and resources for everyone. It's just about getting it there. Which
How
is
do you
part
feel
of the
about
plan.
Elon's plan to making internet free to the world via Starlink, which he's in the process of doing?
Look,
do you hate that?
it's good, but one person having monopoly over the whole world's internet isn't a good thing.
I don't know that that's necessarily what he would be doing, is it? It's just trying to make it free. What do you
but
think about?
If he owns it, he would have the monopoly. Anyway, no.
What
Another thing I was going to say
what
about
about Elon wanting to make Twitter basically an open space as opposed to it
hates
being
that. We know
controlled? Or do you hate that because you want
I
to
don't
have
know. I kinda-
basically your worldview of Elon being a pig, the only thing that's able to be propagated on Twitter?
But
and
Elon's
anyone
just
else
gonna-
with an opposing view gets sort of shut down, I guess, or cancelled or falsely accused of stuff.
again, to have someone like him controlling it, who is essentially a man-child with the sense of humor of a 12-year-old and the thinnest skin
I don't think,
possible.
mate. What do you?
God,
That's
dude.
why
Dude,
you
he deletes
He's clearly
his tweets
got
all the
some sort of
time.
autism.
He deletes his
bro.
tweets all the time.
And it's
Oh,
also,
so-
have you ever
so
heard
you're
of the term
defending him
ad
like
hominem,
that.
where you attack the person and not the argument? That's what calling him a man-child with a shit sense of humor is. If you had any like reasonable and decent arguments about what he's doing wrong, then I would be happy to hear him. But
I've
it
said
sounds
plenty,
like
and I'm happy to say more.
you don't.
I've said plenty. So
So,
the one
okay,
you said,
so he hasn't bought South Sydney. He hasn't made buses enjoyable enough. What's he got to do? Fucking play fucking King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard on like what do you need? Triple J on rotation.
I can also promise you.
Bong smoke blowing through the air.
I can promise you right now, like, if I said to Dave, hey, we're going up to Byron, we're not driving, we want to get the bus, do you reckon he'd be stoked about that?
No, he wouldn't.
He wouldn't be.
Oh, but let's make the buses nicer.
exactly, if the buses were nicer,
Don't
I'd
you
go.
think that sometimes thinking outside of the box is actually more important in solving issues than going, hey, let's just try and fix this shit. Like, let's just try and do the same thing but make it like nicer. Like maybe it requires
buses are
different
already
sorts of
pretty
thinking.
nice.
Buses are pretty fucking
they're air
good,
conditioned.
dude.
You've got toilets.
Okay,
How much
yeah.
better can you make them?
What else do you need to have? Wait, free fucking hand jobs.
They've got TVs and shit on them.
What
now.
do you want on a bus?
The thing is,
People still don't like them because they don't
I
like seeing
fucking
people they
hate
don't
'em.
know.
Have you guys seen the Unabomber documentary? That thing?
I started it and I turned it off because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to
something else
I
going
hate
on.
to side with a serial killer here, and it doesn't really help my case. But he makes a very good point about cars and the fact that all our cities now are planned around cars. You can't get anywhere without a car, even to the point where some people couldn't get food and resources without a car.
That's not true though, right? Because we can get buses and trains.
Exactly. What if there are no buses available?
But there are.
After midnight from my house or getting home from the city to my house, there's no bus.
Get an Uber.
Yeah, I get no.
Exactly. No. But I'm just saying the fact that we've planned all these cities around cars is the thing that's led to congestion, to pollution in cities, to things like that. And I don't think the solution is to kind of just keep going at this trajectory we're on. That's the point. To your other point you made before about
So
him
just
taking...
as you hold on, as you
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on that, electric cars would reduce pollution, right?
Yeah, they would.
Cool. Carry
Yeah.
on.
The other point you made about him him trying to build another civilization on Mars or whatever, and I got to admit, I used to like Elon Musk. I used to think that was a great idea. I used to think that was cool. When he went on Joe Rogan and smoked a blunt, I was like, oh, fuck, like he's cool and
That's what you
whatever.
got to do.
That's
for
what you
Dave.
gotta
But then I turned on him.
Smoke a bong.
Then I
Yeah,
turned on him.
you turned on him because
but this
he
whole
wasn't
idea
funny
of
and he
taking
fucking-
civilization to Mars to make a new society is just ridiculous because it completely discounts any attempt to save this Earth and basically says, well, we're fucked.
What
Let's
would
move
be
on.
electric-
No. It's a fail safe.
It's a fail-safe. Okay.
That's the idea.
But imagine if he was spending his money fixing Earth rather than trying to populate another planet.
What the fuck is creating battery-powered, like, what is that if not trying to help in some way using the technology or the tools that he has, the capabilities he has? What is that if not trying to help the Earth? Like, what is it?
I think he is because he knows it's in the interest of helping himself.
But that's okay. That's okay. He's not fucking Mother Teresa, who apparently don't look into it.
Oh, yeah,
but I don't know. But
Cancelled.
he fucking like
Don't look into the mother.
His business is Tesla, is battery powered shit. Like that's what he does, right? So if he can do what he does whilst also helping the world, then that's a great solution.
Well, you're not allowed to make money doing it.
No,
even though
you
he sold
can't.
all
It's
his
got to be
fucking possessions.
purely altruistic.
Which
and
he
not
sold all his possessions, not enough.
Pretty much.
No.
But not enough.
See, it's just
not
like
enough.
I could go on for ages about things that I'm
but
like
you
that.
haven't given
The fact
any
that
real
he's-
good fucking.
I
You know what I
think
think
we're
we're
gonna-
gonna? You know what I think we're gonna do?
So the fact that
Sorry, yeah, go one more point. Give him one more point. We did shout him down.
The last thing I want to say, which is the fresh thing on my mind, is the
And
fact
then we're
that
pinning this.
Tesla and all his companies, SpaceX and all them, the workforces, he's very anti-union. He is very anti-workers and employees.
You know
having
why
their
he's
own
anti-union?
rights.
Because unions are inefficient, and people walk off the fucking job at the job of a hat.
We got a
'cause they know they
scab
can.
over here, do we? We got a scab here.
Fucking Dave.
And not just that, his
Mate.
workforces and his like warehouses and whatever have been labeled
a rain, nut, we're leaving.
segregationist, racist, and basically in
Okay, well,
deplorable
have you got
conditions.
anything to back that up?
Yeah, I'll get up some stuff.
They've been segregationist and racist.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was, what is that? Arguments with D or Dave.
Yeah, it's arguments with Antifa.
Arguments with Antifa. Arguments with the left.
Yeah.
And unsurprised.
Again, I don't even feel like it's fair to just lasso the left into that bullshit. That was ridiculous.
Well, he's their spokesman.
Who's written? Is this the Guardian?
Yeah, this is
well,
the Guardian.
there you go.
Okay, do you want me to find a different
there
one?
you go.
What about
I didn't
the
even know. I
Independent,
just guessed.
The New York Post,
Well, no.
SCMP, Bloomberg, LA Times, Mashable, LA Mag, BBC.
You know what, though, Dave? You know what? I actually, and this might be unfair even for my own opinion, right? Because it's like, well, what will you listen to? But I have just recently seen such egregious misrepresentations of the truth through media that just because this shit is being written by New York Times, fucking whoever else, it's like, I don't know who these publications are owned by and what the motivations are behind them to be publishing negative shit about Elon Musk. Like, when you think about the thing that just happened with Johnny Depp, where he's been defamed and he's won, The Washington Post published that fucking op-ed from Amber Heard that was falsely accusing him of this shit that he didn't do, right? So
It was not accusing him. It didn't use his name in the op-ed she
well,
wrote.
why'd she fucking lose, Dave?
Because it sets a massive precedent.
They also said that they assumed that it was inferred that was who she was talking about.
Yeah,
if
they
you
did.
pretend like she wasn't, then you've got your head up your
No,
ass.
I'm not.
Right. So we assume that is exactly who she was talking about, right?
Sure.
So what's the point of fucking saying that then? Because you know exactly who she's talking about.
Because what this ruling does, it sets a dangerous precedent that you don't have to name someone to be called defaming.
You also can just accuse someone of something without having any proof. It's this. I'm not saying that there's a right or a wrong here, but she's fucked his career by accusing him of something without any proof and then publishing shit which was clearly about him without any proof. Like there are two sides to the story, and again, Amber Heard set back fucking women and victims by what she's done because she's a fucking psychopath, and it's awful that she has done that because there are absolutely people who are sufferers and who have been victims. But like the Washington Post can publish this, every single person knew it was about Johnny Depp, and that's why she's lost the case and defamation, right?
Yeah.
The thing about that then when it comes to Elon Musk, and again, I realize that it makes it difficult for you to show an argument because I can just easily go, well, I don't trust the media, which is unhelpful. Yeah.
So
but it's a really fucked up situation where you're like, I don't actually know who to trust now.
Yeah. So then, where does your opinion come from? Where you like Elon Musk? Are those coming from trusted sources, or where does that come from?
They would come from sources that, for me personally, have shown themselves to not misrepresent the truth,
like the Joe Rogan podcast.
Political,
but I'm not
even Joe Rogan. But like when you see someone like the Washington Post publish something like that, when you saw the way that Rogan was portrayed through the media for some of the things that he was saying during COVID, again, some of it wrong, absolutely. But like when you saw the way that the media viciously fucking made this shit up about him, Portnoy from Barstool fucking has had this entire like sexual assault thing just completely fucking made up. Like when you're seeing that from the conventional mainstream media, as I remove my tinfoil hat and bong from my ass, it just makes it very difficult to know where the fuck to put your trust. And so for me, when it comes to, again, mainstream media, I'm like, if they're saying something, I'm inclined to be more skeptical.
I agree with you.
I tell you who you can trust. Hello Sport Podcast.
Yes, and Dio Dave.
That's where you get that's the trusted news sources right here, punters and dribblers.
That's just robust debate.
That's robust debate. I think we pin it and we move on because, like, you could be here all day and all night.
Yeah.
And I have been before.
I know.
I recognise the signs, the telltale signs of going around in circles.
Yeah, you get in a loop.
Because I've been looped up many times.
Well, usually
I'm looped up once a week.
Usually it's between the hours of fucking...
I'm looped up once a week, 1 till 5. I'm looped up.
That was a 1 till 5 shot.
It was.
But you know what? That was far more coherent.
There was less yelling, and it didn't go for as long as it usually would have.
No, I think we found a good point to pin it. My God, haven't we been derailed? Well, we've derailed ourselves.
It's an hour we'll never get back.
It's an hour we'll never get back, and an issue no closer to being solved. We finished the Elon debate and then got nuts deep into some other things that are political hot button issues. Thanks to our little man Dio Day, but I do always enjoy them, Eddie. I do like to get stuck in it.
So now we're moving on to Israel-Palestine?
Yes, Israel-Palestine. What's going on in Yemen? Why aren't we talking about it?
Look, good hearty debate, Tom.
You know what?
Good hearty debate.
You know what I want to talk about, Eddie?
What?
Our boy Rabs is retired.
Rabs has retired, Tom, the voice of rugby league for 55 years. One of the greats.
The greatest.
The greatest of all time, the GOAT. He's left the airways. Tom, I, for one, am devastated. I'm
devastated.
I feel lost. I'm not comfortable with the world we're left in.
I tell you who is on a hiding to nothing, a shit sandwich en route. Matt Thompson of going to be commentating the Origin fame.
Look, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm feeling lost and confused and naked
that
almost.
That poor bastard is up against it.
Matt Thompson, and this isn't a personal thing against Matt.
No.
I don't know him. His rugby league calling's okay. It's good for like Saturday afternoon games and stuff. That's fine.
Which Channel 9 don't have.
You know what I mean?
I do.
But Origin football
Yeah.
needs, requires, demands a voice, a tempo
I think
that he doesn't have.
no. I think honestly at the moment,
I don't think anyone has it.
no. But I like if there was like an armistice day of rugby league where Channel 9 and Fox were to sort of like lay down their swords and go, listen, Rabs is retired. Origin's on. This is bigger than rugby league. This is bigger than fucking ratings and, my network v your network. We are fucked here. No disrespect to Matt Thompson. We need the best we've got. And right now, there's two people in my mind. I'm holding up four, but I mean two. It's just two on each hand. If you're watching on YouTube, I do apologise. I don't apologise for my Bumblebee jacket, but that's another story. If we have two people, Eddie,
Yep.
to me,
Yep.
one of them's called Dan Ganane,
Yeah, I thought you'd say that.
but I'm also a dick rider for Dan Ganane. That's just me. The other one is Vossi, Mr. Magoo himself.
No, Vossi's no. He's too over the top. He's just,
Yeah, but I'm saying of what we've got now, I think Dan and Vossi are the two. I think Dan's
I think
the best.
Warren Smith's better than Vossi.
Bro, Warren Smith, come on.
I don't. Vossi's
he's
too much for me, dude.
If a cardboard box could have a voice, it would be Warren Smith's voice. And that's no disrespect to Warren. I'm sorry. It's just...
I think Warren Smith's better than Vossi.
Who would you
personally.
pick then? Who would you pick? Number one. You have one pick?
I would pick Dan Ganane, but I would also say this, and again, no offense to Dan Ganane, he's not up to it, I don't think. There's just like... Ray has set such a fucking high bar, impossible shoes to fit, that whoever the fuck goes in, and it shouldn't be Matt Thompson, but whoever goes in is just, you're almost getting thrown to the wolves.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I wonder... Yeah.
And Channel 9's known that for fucking the longest time.
They don't
bro.
seem to have prepared for this. Unless they have. Unless this is them preparing for it, maybe it is. I don't know.
Look, I don't know. I don't know enough about the sacred art of calling horses and footy games and swimming
It's
and all
a
that
fucking
shit.
tough job.
What I do
It's
know,
an art.
What I do know is the two best callers in the rival codes, Rugby League and AFL, have both retired in sort of consecutive years almost. And there doesn't seem to me to be like a protege in the wings. So
You know,
Dennis
it's kind of
Cometti
like-
retired.
yeah.
He was the fucking goat in AFL.
Bruce McAvaney's gone.
He's gone as well, and now Ray's gone. And
Richie's dead.
Richie's dead. Fucking hell! It just doesn't seem like there's other people hanging around. I don't know if there's been less emphasis on calling. That doesn't really make sense to me.
Do people not...
Do people not want to call now?
You know how it's like there's a dearth of rugby league halves? Like, is there a dearth of commentators? Quality? Where's the next...
callers.
Callers.
What's there's a dearth? Well, because the commentator's colour, not the same thing.
You know what I'm
Callers.
saying. Where is the next caller coming from?
Fucked if I know where they are, dude. Like, where's the great nursery of callers? I mean, Ray was reared on dogs. That seems to me to be the place to go. If Ray came from dogs, I'd be looking to dog callers.
Look to dog callers. Ray actually first used to call marbles.
Well, he called marbles. That's right.
He was a marble caller. If we can find someone calling marbles,
and then he cut his teeth on the dishies.
cut his teeth in the dishes, ponies,
Worked his way up.
fucking rugby. Like, I mean, he's just an absolute all timer.
I haven't put it this way, Tom. I haven't heard a caller that really just fucking gets me hot under the collar. That's of this vintage. Like, listening to the great calls of Ray Warren, I'm like, bang, I've completed. Dennis Cometti, bang, I've completed. The old horse racing caller, the guy that did like the Sydney Cup and shit, Australia Cup. You know that guy's long row?
Is that Johnny Tapp?
No. Go long row, go.
Ken Howard?
No, and also the guy that
Bill
does
Collins?
like he does the Nation Roars for the hero. Mackay Davis.
Yeah,
coming
I
on.
don't know who it is.
That guy. He's retired as well. Those motherfuckers.
Greg Miles?
Greg Miles.
Who was the guy who used to form that Schumacher? Is he still around?
The guy that did the MotoGP.
Oh, maybe that was it. Well, either F1 or MotoGP, or maybe both.
He's well gone.
Martin Tyler's the only one that's really left. Phil Liggett's hung up the fucking
Phil
tonsils.
Liggett's gone. Dennis Cometti's gone. Greg Miles is gone. Ray Warren's gone. Bruce fucking McAvaney's
Richie's
gone.
dead.
Richie's dead? What's going on?
Where's the next
There's no
great
one
caller?
left. Dude, I'm telling you right now, we're rolling off those fucking names. I'm sorry. I don't mean offense by this. It is what it is. I don't think we're going to be sitting here in fucking 20 years' time going, Dan Ganane, he doesn't stack up that way.
I don't know. I still think he's the best that we've got. And I
do you
don't
know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what? You may not have thought that about Ray at the same age. And I'm not sitting here saying that Dan is the next great fucking caller of all time. But to me, he's the best. And I'm absolutely biased as fuck. There is no doubt about that. But I just don't see anyone that stacks up. Vossi is who he is. He's all right. He's fine.
I don't think he has the nuance, the sensibilities for Origin.
Vossi? No, he's
too. I don't think he'd make it out of the box alive. He'd work
too
himself
up.
into such a
Well,
state.
especially considering he's such a hyperbole merchant. It's like, you are going to be, that was the best run I've ever seen, and that was the best tackle I've ever seen, and that might be the greatest try I've ever seen.
And that for 80 minutes, you're like, bruh, you need
might have to. His head would explode. My head would explode. The nation's heads would explode.
Tom, you can't replace 99 Origins. You just can't.
And I respect 99 Origins. It's like, don't go one more than you think you should, Rabs.
But also,
99 is very Bradman-esque.
There's a lot of synergy there between him and Bradman. I like it. 99's a sacred number in this country.
It is. And Rabs has now etched his name. I wonder whether he thought about that gun. It's actually kind of cooler going out.
No, I don't reckon. I reckon it just is what it is.
Yep.
He was this, I think it was Ray Hadley was saying that he was, when considering his decision, was petrified that he was going to get in there and say something wrong, like
fuck something up, embarrass himself.
Yeah, just your mind's not as sharp as it once was, which is completely understandable for a man of his age. But Tom, in a roundabout way, what we're saying, I think my old friend, is that there's a fucking dearth, dude.
Yeah, where's the great caller nurseries? You know what I mean? Has Penrith got a great junior system out there?
Is there a caller nursery? Is there like a body that oversees callers? It's trying to bring them up through the ranks. Like, who's Fox? What's Fox and Nine's future? Are they sitting there in a boardroom now going, listen, we dropped the ball. We thought Ray had lived forever. We need to start planning.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake we made as Nine was thinking that Ray might have been immortal, literally.
Well, and then he became an immortal, and they were
He's not an immortal, is he? He should be.
No, Hall of Fame, sorry.
Dude, they should make him an immortal.
I think so. It shouldn't just be for, like...
It's like, I get that it's for players, and you don't want to... It's like, oh, you open a can of worms. It's like, there's no one else that's coming close to Ray Warren.
No, but no one else would be in there.
No.
It'd just be Ray and players.
It'd be Ray and players. That's it.
And that'd be it.
What about some of the great calls from it? Shut the fuck up. We weren't alive for them. It's recency bias, maybe, but no one's really debating Rabs is the greatest.
But even old fuckers like Ray and Phil Gould and shit, they're all saying he's the best of all time. So it just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Like, he was there for he was like there when TV was invented and shit, bro. Do you know what I mean? That's fucking wild. Him and Richie literally like starting when TVs start to come into their own.
He was, I've probably said it before, I worked with him at Triple M. It's like the coolest thing that's ever happened in my job, like career. We were trying to work out whether I would call it a career yesterday. But in my career, working with Rabs is without a shadow of a doubt the coolest thing that I ever got to do.
That peer?
Bro, I used to have to call him, right? So he would work, he would be like a guest host on the Rush Hour every night on Triple M. That was like a sports show from 6 till 7. And then he would host the Dead Set Legends with Dan Ganane and Richard Friedman. So every, like, say Thursday would be the day Rabs would host Rush Hour. I'd have to call him, be like, hey, mate, here's the sort of topics from today. Just wanted to sort of get you across them, get your thoughts on them, see what hits. And then based off that, I'd go back to, like, Dan Ganane, who would host the Rush Hour as well, and be like, oh, okay, so this is what Rabs had to say about this, and we'd work out what we're talking about. But so I would just, it would basically just be like, it would become just yarns with Rabs. And I'd just sit there, and I'd met him like once, and then that was my job. And it was like, oh, okay, so now on Mondays, or I talk to Ray Warren for like 25 minutes about sport. And a lot of the times I'd call him and be like, I'm on the golf course, son. And I'd be like, oh, okay, mate. Yeah, look, just a couple of things I want to talk about. Like, I'm sort of nervous. I'm like, yeah, can I just talk you through something? Yeah, just hold on a second, mate. I got to have my shot. And then I just put the phone down, and I just hear, like, in the background, like, him swinging the golf club, smacking him, and going, like, how'd you hit it, mate? He's like, oh, I fucking smashed it. It was such a weird sort of, pivot for it was like, oh, I work in bars and I like live off youth allowance and I go to uni, and then it's like I'm on an internship and now I talk to Rabs once a week. It was just bizarre. But he was just the coolest fucking guy. Like nothing about him was, you know, arrogant, or he wasn't like a prick in any way, or isn't. I'm not eulogizing the man, but it was just, he is as cool or as like nice and genuine as you would hope someone like that to be. And it's scat now. It's scat.
I think there was potentially a feeling that he may not be there for Origin, but I think we all held on to hope that he would be.
Yeah, it kind of forced his hand.
I would have been like, I was hoping that we may just see a full game a year, Ray Warren, 3 Origins in a grand final. That would have done me, bro.
Bit of a pinch hitter.
That would have done me. That would have been absolutely fine. Now, you and I are going to Origin 1, so we can delay the inevitable for a moment longer, a little moment longer.
So true, yeah.
I don't think we're going to Perth, but
no, but we will also be in Queensland.
So we'll
have to do it.
We'll have to do Matt Thompson once.
And this is an anti-Matt Thompson.
This is an anti-Matt.
It's a Rabs thing.
This is a Rabs thing.
There might be some solution that we might have overlooked. Did you know Ray Warren has a son that goes by the name of Chris, who has done a fair bit of commentary work in his time?
I do, and I know Chris as well from my radio days. He's not Rabs, and that's no disrespect to Chris. Yeah. He's not Rabs. It's not the same. He doesn't.
I haven't
sound
heard him
like
commentate. But
you need to have Ray's voice, his tone, his dulcet, deep-toned voice. Like you can't. That obviously, along with everything else he brings. Again, it's not a knock on Chris. It's just what it is. He also has another son, Mark, I think.
I think he's got 2 other sons, but only Chris has a Wikipedia
Harrigan
page.
sent me a video today, actually, of Ray Warren calling something. I'll get up.
He's done it! He's Houdini! He's Houdini! And he's put Gardner over! Daniel Gardner has scored! What about Andrew King? Put him in the second! Put him somewhere! He's too good for this game! Well, the juggler's come out at Brookie! Unbelievable! The crowd's gone berserk!
You're just like, bruh. What are those pipes, son?
My earliest rugby league
Put
memory.
him in the circus.
My earliest rugby league memory, and also I think it might be my favourite bit of rugby league commentary, unfortunately came at the cost of a Manly premiership. But it was when Albert scored. Like, if you listen to that, can you get that up? If you listen to that, the simplicity of the way that he calls it, and then the silence he leaves, like, so you can let the crowd. I think a lot of the things with commentators these days, and I find
They
a
don't
lot
shut up.
with cricket, they don't give any space to like allow the crowd just to fucking do their thing. And it's like, Albert will score. Newcastle have won the grand final. And then it's like silence for a bit. And then he comes back in, Manly have been beaten, or something like that. And you're like, again, I was crying because I was devastated and I was 6 or 7, but it's just like perfection. That's O Davis. Put it into the mic.
Here's the shot. Gets the kick in. It's on. No. Heavens above, it's Lions with the ball. Andrew Johns. Here it is. Knocked down by Manly. 6 more tackles. There's 20 seconds on the clock. Albert, he will play it. 21 metres away. Down the blind, Andrew Johns. Inside for Albert. Albert will score. Albert will score. Newcastle have won the grand final. Albert is over. Manly has been beaten by Newcastle on full time. 6 seconds to go, and Albert has scored an incredible try. Newcastle have won Rugby League's crown.
Dude.
Look,
Like,
obviously
could
there's
that-
scat memories for the club.
Scat me, but could you have called that moment any more perfectly? I get goosebumps. I fucking hate that moment. And it gives me goosebumps just hearing him. Like, it is... Bruh, he's a fucking psycho. He's so good.
It's just Rabs.
It's just Rabs. Shout out to Rabs, you know?
Shout out to Rabs. Mate, enjoy retirement. Mate, you've earned it. Obviously, a dear friend.
Dear friends, look, we're just proud of you, mate.
We're
And
proud of him. Proud of
as
you.
we said on Instagram yesterday, like we're just a couple of kids from June Primary, fucking, hit the big time.
Yeah. Look where life takes you, eh? Look where life takes you.
Look where life takes you, mate. We're really proud of you. Love to share in the kids, and just glad that we could play a small part in all your success. Really.
That's exactly right, Tom. I echo your sentiments, man.
See you at Christmas. Can't wait.
To the greatest to ever do it.
Yep.
The great Ray Warren, and now, my life is sealed. Like, for forevermore, he will be my GOAT. And maybe there will be someone else that comes along and young whippersnappers will be like, this guy's the best. And I'll go, shut up, cunt.
Yeah, you don't have a fucking
You don't know what
clue.
the fuck you're talking about, bruh.
Yeah.
Sit down and shut up and let me play old Ray Warren highlights and you'll get it.
Yeah, you'll get it. But now we obviously move Ray from the commentary box onto the Rugby League mantelpiece where he sits, really nicely.
Well, he's been next to Joey.
Up there with Joe, a couple others. But make him an immortal.
Agreed.
Let's make him an immortal. I just think that, let's do it. Let's bend the rules. Rab's an immortal.
Well, rules are made to be broken.
Let's do it.
That's what they
For
say.
fuck's sake, let's do it. Horny for the weekend, mate.
It's going to be a fucking lot of fun, Tom.
Yeah. Down in Melbourne. We're flying out nice and early tomorrow.
Not too early, but not early.
Have we got carry-on?
Yep.
Or check-in?
Yep.
Like check bag?
Yeah.
Because I was like, when
And
we
I
went to
got us
carry-on as well.
a bit of extra leg room.
Oh, did ya?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, when we went to Magic Round, I was like, I sort of ran out of clothes quicker than I'd anticipated. I didn't have enough room. I redlined what the bag that I was bringing was possible. It was one of Steph's sort of small, chicky, bags on wheels.
No, we've got. I might bring my suitcase.
I'm
Just
bringing
everything.
a suitcase, yeah.
Because you don't know how cold it's going to be.
I need to be versatile. I also might buy something down there, Eddie.
Dude, we might buy. We might
you
go
and I
shopping.
might do one of those Pretty Woman things where it's you and I.
Dude, I want
to
to do Pretty Woman, and then you can walk out and I'm like,
Yeah,
and then maybe champagne and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that what happens? Is that what goes on?
I think we do a little Pretty Womaning while we're down there. On a Friday or Saturday.
Maybe
after.
Ella was supposed to go down to see her wedding dress.
Maybe we go try it.
Maybe I'll go try it on.
Yeah.
And be like, what do you think?
Well,
Bert?
no, I should try it on
You
because
try
you've
it
got
on.
to see me come out in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
I
then
think
you're
that's nice.
I think that's what we do.
I think that's what we do, bro.
Okay, good to know though, because I was like, I was concerned.
No leg room on the way back though. All gone, Debo.
That's fine, mate. You know what? It's fucking an hour.
Yeah, but
I know it's nice.
we're big boys.
We are. It's real nice.
But it is what it is.
It's not the end of the world for me.
So we fly down to Mo, punters and dribblers. We're absolutely fucking
Why are we
gagging.
going down there, Eddie?
Why are we going down there? Because we're sitting ringside for the biggest fight in the history of the nation.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
why.
We're watching fucking the ferocious one pound Devin Haney into dust.
That's why. Going to the press conference, going to the Wayne, getting really fucking balls deep in this whole yarn. So we'll be covering it. All on behalf of KO, our dear friends.
Dear friends, KO. Now, it is available because obviously not all of you will be able to come and sit ringside with us at the Ferocious One's coronation as the
But we're
greatest.
going there on behalf of the punter and the dribbler.
We are the punter and the dribbler's eyes and ears down there. So if you can't be there with us, which is a reality for a lot of you, then it's just it's easy, bro. You buy it. You go to Main Event or you go to KO, actually. It's available on Main Event via KO. Now, it's not fucking hard at all. You just literally either have a KO subscription and then it's right in front of your face, or you don't and you just Google KO Main Event and it's going to be there and you buy the fucking thing. You don't need to sign up to KO. It's bing, bang, boom, easy. Although I would encourage you to fucking sign up to KO because it's a smart decision from a dumb person.
Smart decision, dumb people. Look, it all makes sense. Tom, am really fucking pumped up to get down there, wallow in the narrative and the yarn, soak it all up, and sitting ringside in a stadium that is full with 60,000 people is going to be fucking ridiculous. We were speaking earlier a couple of days ago, and I asked, have you ever been to the tennis, say, when a Greek Aussie's playing? And you hadn't. The Greeks fuck differently, dude. They are.
They invented fucking.
They are some of the most passionate fucking supporters you are ever going to hear, my friend. And they are going to be out in fucking voice for Kambosos. The Melbourne Greek community is massive. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the second biggest outside of Greece itself.
I think that's true.
So
and I base that on nothing.
So the boys are going to be out ripping and tearing. They all seem to know the fucking chants and the songs and shit. So it's going to be fucking heavy in there, bro.
I'm really excited. I'm trying to work out now. I've got different medical opinions. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, they're calling it one of the worst toothaches all time.
Just before you get into that, Dave, there's a poll in Punters and Dribblers that I want you to get up based on
me.
But we'll read that out.
Yeah,
afterwards.
read that out and say I haven't seen it, which is good because I'm sure it will be glowing in its, I guess, review of me as a person. Worst toothache all time, they're calling it. When the dentist looked in my mouth on Tuesday or Monday, she started weeping, tears into my open mouth. She was like, "This looks fucking awful." Tuesday. She was like, "This looks like the worst toothache I've ever seen." Now, for those of you that don't know the facts, bottom wizzy tooth, partially erupted, I believe they call it. So there's still some gum flapping over it. Top wizzy tooth.
Can you feel the gum flapping?
Yeah.
It flaps.
Well, it's just like, it's a bit of fucking...
Yuck.
It's not that bad. It's just teeth coming
disgusting.
through. It's just teeth coming through.
It's
what
foul.
happens. Okay. Now, the top wizzy tooth, fully through.
Why is it coming through now, bro? You're 3 years old.
Obviously, I'm just starting to get wise, dude. You know? You're dumb. You got all of them out, idiot.
Mine already came through. Mine came through when I was 18, like everyone else.
Ripped out your wisdoms. Now, this top one is fucking pounding this emergent tooth, and it's getting it infected. So
you
now,
were late through puberty?
No, I wasn't. I wish. Well, actually, I don't wish. That would have been tough. I was pretty average, I'd say. I wasn't early.
What's the wisdom teeth thing about at 33? That seems late.
Grow up, dude. Grow up. Maybe it is late. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to wisdom, Eddie. I don't want to get too into, to me problems. It's not about me, right? But it is a little bit. I'm on antibiotics.
This whole rant seems to be about you.
I'm on antibiotics.
Yes.
Melbourne is going to be a nice work weekend for a couple of chums to do some pretty womaning around Melbourne whilst also working. I need to work out, because I was told that on antibiotics you cannot touch alcohol, which isn't going to fit into my plans. So do I just stop taking it and just go to the weekend, then finish off the cycle of antibiotics? Or am I just being wool-pulled by overly cautious medical professionals, and should I just fucking keep having them and drink?
Well, there's a couple of things to unpack here. Although this may come as some surprise, we're not medically trained, Tom and I. Not in the traditional sense.
No.
So we don't know the effect that antibiotics can have on a person whilst they're also drinking. Now, Michael Pride said that his dad reckons it's all bullshit. We don't necessarily believe him, even though he is a podiatrist. We just want, if anyone's out there who's a doctor, just reach out and tell us a couple of things.
Yep.
A, can he go off it just for a couple of days? Or B, if he is to drink on antibiotics, is he prone to playing a shocker?
Yeah.
Because I do have a caveat of my own. I don't want to go to Melbourne for one of the great weekends all time and have a square next to me who's just going to be a bit of a party pooper. Because if that's the case, I'll sub him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but also to that, you don't want to have someone go down there who's deciding to responsibly continue his cycle of antibiotics whilst also pounding, blokes and tequilas into the earth, and then you've got to put me into a fucking Woolworths trolley and push me home.
Well, imagine if I have to carry you out of the boxing and hold your hair back and shit whilst I miss the fight. That's again unacceptable.
We don't want that.
I don't want that. I don't need that. It's not a great look. It's not great. It's not great.
It's my mate.
It's not great for brand Hello Sport.
No,
it's certainly not great for brand Tom Birmingham.
No, it's not.
Dave, have you found, my friend, the poll in the punters and dribblers?
I have indeed.
Okay, what is it?
It's thanks to dribbler Nathan Ward, who has created a poll, and he has said, with the boys taking part in the Sydney Marathon in September, I was just thinking of how Tom, of not being reared on tank water fame, will be a late scratching from the event. Punters and dribblers, please feel free to add ideas and vote for Tom's decline. So
how I'll fucking scratch.
What'll do you in?
Okay.
Which will be the excuse
What are
used. So we've got chafe. That's the most popular vote at the moment.
I wouldn't rule that out.
Followed closely by shin splints.
Yeah, that could actually be it.
Both really, really likely.
Chafe, I think you can get around. Shin splints, you can't get around.
Yeah, but
Chafe, if you get your fucking the undies right and you got this enough cream and all that sort of shit.
But like.
Or are we talking a mid-race scratch?
No, but
Well,
I'm
yeah,
just
imagine
saying,
chafing like 5
are you
kg.
likely to pull out from the marathon because of chafe? I think that's highly likely.
Okay.
All right, and then we
Shin
got
splints.
shin splints. Then interesting one. Broke his foot in a physical altercation with a jiu-jitsu black belt cleaner regarding beard trimmings.
Possible.
Niche.
Possible. Niche, but possible.
Niche. Then we got psoriasis.
That could do it, dude. I mean, it's never got to that point where I couldn't compete. I'm a competitor at heart, but fuck, man, if it gets there.
Next up, we have he will blame the kids.
Yeah, that's possible, bro.
Well, hey, man, they come first. Sorry, have a kid and you'll fucking realise.
but it is
Idiot.
possible.
Of course, I'm saying
This
it's
is
possible.
just people are just putting down realistic options here.
If
though.
Evie Rose, who is becoming more and more fucking, just conscious as a little person, she's putting the guilt trip on me hard these days. Daddy, why are you going? Oh, Daddy, you're my favorite. I love you so much, Daddy. Can you not go to work with Eddie, please? Why you go to work with Eddie? Why you go to like literally? I spent the whole morning with her today. I came in late because I'm #greatest dad / husband all time.
/ needs brownies for this weekend.
Needs brownies this weekend.
/ going on a 3-day bender.
/ baking brownies this weekend for this ahead of the weekend. But literally, I spent the whole morning with her.
You had
and
a
then-
fresh tray on this morning,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I did. But I spent the whole morning with her, and then I get home, quickly pump a cold shower because I'm still Wim Hof, sorry. And then as I'm leaving, Daddy, why are you going? Oh, no, guys. I'm like, fucking hell, the guilt trip. And you feel awful, even though I know I'm not a shit dad. Anyway, so it's very possible I use that.
Next up, which probably wouldn't happen in time, but wisdom tooth removal.
Well, actually, no.
That's,
'cause-
again, possible.
no,
This-
dude, it's not because I'm getting one out next Monday.
Yep.
Which is, I'm going to feel sorry for the fucking dentist having to breathe my goddamn breath next Monday.
Monday? What time?
3:40.
You're cutting things very fine, my friend.
We get back when? What time do we leave? We get back here like 1:30.
We're going to do a podcast.
It'll be a short one on Monday, Eddie. I don't think we're going to be. I don't think we're banging out our usual Monday. Well, that was the.
Cutting it fine. That's all I'm saying.
No, we are cutting it fine.
No, you are.
No, I know I am, but I need this tooth out. Let's go. So the top one's
We're
going
11,
out
back at 12:30, probably in here at 1 to... Yeah, no, it's doable.
It's doable.
Yeah.
So the top one out on Monday.
Yep.
And then the bottom one will be out in July sometime.
What about the other two?
They're not a problem.
September
right now.
17th.
No, they're not. They're not a problem.
Not a problem
So-
yet.
No, but so this one up here hasn't even shown its face.
I think the punter and dribbler know.
They're clued on.
They know.
They're clued in. All right, what else we got?
Didn't Wim Hof that morning.
Dude, I always Wim Hof. Don't worry about that.
Lower back soreness.
Nah, it's an Eddie problem.
It's me.
It's still me, but not yet.
The return of hand, foot, and mouth.
Fuck, dude. You know what? That would...
Which you can get again.
That should be higher up as well because Zoe is still young. Like, Zoe's in the hand, foot, mouth sort of territory. Although you can get it. It's not like Evie couldn't get it again. That should be higher.
We got suspended with Latrell.
I mean, I don't think that I deserve to be in the same, breathe the same air as Latrell. He's a far more elite athlete. But I do understand that we are both athletes at our very core. Like, if you just, if you reduce everything, we're just both athletes.
You're very cool.
Yeah.
Shingles.
Don't think you can get that twice, can you?
If anyone could, it'd be you.
I hope you can't get it twice.
Dude, look at all these ailments that, like, are you.
Yes, you can.
And the
get
list is
shingles
still going.
twice.
This is all aligned to you.
Dude, I can't help it. I am who I am. You know what, though? I share and bear my soul with the punter and the dribbler. You people at home. I'm sorry that I get ailments, dude. What do you want from me? I'm an ailment guy. But you know what? I bounce back better than ever. And then I fall again. But then I get back up and I bounce back again. And then I
you
trip
fall.
some more.
And then and on and on and on and
Yeah.
on and on it goes until one
Yep.
day you don't get back up.
No, well, that's hopefully long.
No, but, like, I'm just saying,
Well, that's
like,
life, though,
that's
dude.
life.
That's just life.
I'm not. What am I saying that's like
I'm just
untrue?
I'm a physical representation of life in its purest form.
You are made.
Is that
in
what
the
you'll
image
have on
of
your
God.
gravestone? Ailments got the better of you.
I wouldn't mind that. I'll probably have to have like what is it, like a screen, like a plasma screen as my gravestone, so you could swipe and see all the ailments that got me. What else?
COVID again.
Yeah, I
2.0.
mean, sure. I've had it.
Can get it again.
Yeah,
fear,
but it wasn't that bad.
Fear of running second after carrot cake.
Lame. Carrot cake's lame. Boo, carrot cake. Boo.
Mold.
Fuck mold, dude. I'm moving out of
Mold
my
could get
house.
ya.
I'm moving out of my
Mold.
house, so mold ain't getting me.
Pregnant.
Fuck no, dude.
Are you saying men can't get pregnant? Are we getting into this again?
No.
No, I am saying that. I am saying that. I'll fucking comfortably say that. But that's not what we're
past,
talking about.
Steph's not pregnant now. We're
No.
past 9 months. Should be fine.
Yeah, we're good. But no, men can't get pregnant.
We got another foot and mouth applicant.
Yeah.
Ibis, just Ibis.
Mate, I'm not fucking losing to an Ibis, I'll tell you that.
He forgot the step ones. Again, back to the chafe.
I honestly will not make that mistake again.
But if you didn't have your step 1s on and you were running, you wouldn't make it.
Right, if you didn't have your step 1s and ran a marathon, you wouldn't finish.
But I'm saying if you forgot them, you wouldn't run.
Well, no, I just would start late, and then I'd have to catch everyone up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bleeding to death from his nipples.
Well, that's yep, potentially. You have to get some nipple patches on.
Just double underhooks.
Well, I mean,
Kempy thing.
Kempy hasn't tried me, but I mean, he'd be smart not to.
Junkie spit.
Yep.
Yep.
That's specific when that junkie spat at me when he tried to fight me in the street.
Yeah, I remember.
That was
Blaming Dave.
You know, a mate of ours, friend of the show, and Dr. Charlie Bly reached out and was like, dude, have you been checked after that junkie spit? And I was like, I mean, yeah, bro, it was like fucking 7 years ago. He was like, okay, I'm just saying. You want to make sure that junkie didn't spit some fucking psoriasis in your eyeball, and that's where it came from.
Are you serious?
Not that that's how you can get psoriasis. He was just like, it could be the origin of my sort of health downfall.
Potentially. Junkie-related decline.
Blame Dave. I mean, that's easy. I might. if Dave has something to do with it.
Coaching at the driving range.
Sure. I mean, Tyler just seems to be saying anything he can think of here.
Yeah. The muscled cleaner has parked him in.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the cleaner that parks you in.
No, it's not the cleaner.
No, it's not.
Parked in by an Irish guy, and Tom's too nice to like unpark him in because he's Irish.
Yeah, well, he's a nice dude. You know what I mean? He's a nice guy.
Coach whispering fellow competitors.
Righto. That was
They're getting quite niche.
they
Yeah,
are,
well,
they
that
are.
one has received one vote, and now we're at the end of the
These
list.
were probably voted by the guy that wrote it, I'd say.
Some guy goes, Liam Brennan says, if the beep test is anything to go by, it won't happen at all.
Beep test happened. It's coming.
No, it did happen.
Tobler has it, and he hasn't edited it.
Tobler, have you got it? You do, don't you?
Yeah, he's got it.
He's got it. He's nodding.
He knows. He's got it.
There's a comment saying, has Tom got tooth pain? Wouldn't know about it.
Yes, I do. I appreciate that you may not have listened to any of the podcasts we
Look,
did.
that's a long list of ailments. Tom, look, he's got a mountain to climb. We all know that.
Listen,
He's
we're
got
going to
K's getting the legs.
Kambosos. We're going to Kambosos. That was the origin of this conversation. George is going to win.
George winning. Tom, when we talk rugby league on the show, my friend,
Yep.
when we're talking rugby league football, God's winter game, the game that God loves in winter,
Yep.
we do it on behalf of our dear friends at KO.
Uh-huh.
KO are the best in the business.
Without a doubt.
That we do know. Every game, live, uninterrupted, ad-free during play. Fucking unbelievable. Fucking brilliant. Fucking terrific.
Fucking great.
Best in class. They've got an exclusive game this weekend, buy around, which is a bit beta, but this isn't beta because it's one of the great games of all time if Manly's playing in it.
Yeah.
An exclusive 7:30 p.m. Saturday night. Manly take on the Warriors.
At Brookie.
At Brookie. It's going to be heaving. The punters and the dribblers will be out in force. Manly 13 pluses everywhere. Manly will get the chockies, Tom. And I'll tell you why. Josh Schuster's got the 6 on the back. And Kieran Foran, arguably the best 7 to not play 7 in the 7 jersey. That packs a punch.
Oh, it packs a punch, Eddie. It packs a nice, horny punch. Now, it's hard to see the screen. We do have the manta ray on the wall that we're looking at, but we do need to get one over here. Even though my arm will get in the way, but we'll work that out.
Just there.
Just there. Our side, Saab back, and I assume Georgie Tafua, who didn't have the greatest game, has been relegated back to Blacktown Workers. Ruben at fullback plays Reece Walsh. Obviously, Ruben better. Jason Saab against Dallin Waite, Tenez Zelezniak. Jason Saab takes a steamy piss all over him. Respectfully, of course. Morgan Harper, way better than Rocco Berry, although Rocco has a better name. And you do have to factor that in, but Morgan Harper,
Well, it's
better.
important to factor it in.
Next, we've got Tolu Canicola against Adam Pompey. No disrespect to Adam, but don't know who you are. Christian Tuipulotu against Marcelo Montoya. Tuipulotu, way better. Now in the halves, Chanel Harris-Tavita doesn't even want to play rugby league anymore. Respectfully, great call. Love it. He's retiring, and Josh Schuster's better. Sean Johnson against Kieran Foran now. These guys are former teammates, Kiwis.
It's not even fair, it's not even fair.
It's not fair.
So unfair. Kieran the Alpha.
Kieran dominated
Simple
in the
as
grand
that.
final.
Dominated.
Aloye, Murdoch Masilla. Who do you reckon?
Sorry?
Aloye v. Ben Murdoch Masilla.
Well, it's fucking over before it began. I'm pretty sure I just saw on Instagram as well, Josh Alloway expecting a child or another child.
Congrats, Josh.
So, Josh, a dear friend
From
of the
us to
show.
you.
I think that makes this a fait accompli. Like,
Yeah.
it's all over now. Josh is going to go out there and rip the bloke's throat out.
Yep.
Sorry.
Croker, Wade Egan.
Croker, the best 9 in the game. Wade Egan of Who Are You fame.
Now, the only upside Wade has in this battle, and it doesn't mean he wins it because he doesn't, but he does have a Y in his name. W-A-Y-D-E.
That means something. I think if you're going into battle, you want to go behind a bloke with a Y in his name, particularly if his name's Wade. An out-of-place Y is what I look for in terms of leaders.
Yep.
But it's not going to be enough because Croker's the best 9 in the game.
Yep.
Pure and simple.
Toa Fafoa Sipley against Jazz Tavanga. Now, if you called Jazz, that's also a positive.
Jazz hands.
Jazz. So, I mean, Jazz doesn't...
Jazz joggers.
Yeah. Tafoa's better. Toa Sipley's better. You ever heard of this guy before, Eddie? His name, he goes with the name Homole Olakawatu against Ewan Aiken of, are you a centre or a back row fan?
God, that's so unfair.
Are you a centre or are you a back rower?
Oh,
dude?
my God, dude.
Work
you don't even
it.
know what position you play,
Work
bro.
it out,
Work
bro.
it out, mate.
Says the guys with a second rower playing in their halves. This
Read
week.
Work
a
it
book,
out.
dude.
He's not. He's a 5'8".
You're an idiot, dude. He's a 5'8" that plays
You
fucking back row.
dumb
Sometimes
fuck.
can't.
You stupid fuck. All right, next we have, Dave, keep scrolling up. I can't see. Okay, Andrew Craig Davey of I'm Walking Away
From the trouble in my life.
against Tohu Harris.
Never heard of him.
No. Okay, so obviously Craig Davey there. Why are we zoomed in on Tohu?
I was just wondering what's going on with his hair over there.
Oh,
Tony
that'd be a
Harris.
bad Photoshop, Dave, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say it's a bad Photoshop. And then at the 13s, we've got a Jake Trebojevic captaining the side, a Captain Jake, against Jack Murchie.
Jack Murchie. No offense, bro. But why even turn up to the ground?
Jack, I think, would be better placed
Stay in the hotel.
staying in the hotel.
Stay in the hotel, dude. Stay in the hotel. Go to the stand, have a couple of beers,
Yep.
watch it on telly.
Yeah.
Don't
Now,
bother.
We turn to the bench, Eddie, and we have Dylan Dillybags, the original Dillybags, if you ask me, but Dylan Walker against Taniela Otukolo. Again, apologies if I didn't pronounce it correctly.
Where do you
doing
reckon
my best.
Dylan Brown learned his
Dylan
stalwart?
Walker?
No, where do you reckon Dylan,
Dylan
Brown
Brown.
learnt his stalwart?
Well, I'm sure it was walking in on Dylan Walker.
That's correct. Now you know.
Now you know. Look who's back. Every rugby league side worth their salt needs a Carl with a K, and we have Carl Lawton.
KL?
KL's back.
Love KL.
After basically...
Not to be mistaken for Kuala Lumpur.
Or KL Rahul, the cricketer. This is Carl Lawton of burying Cameron Murray into the Brookvale turf, I believe Brookvale, and getting suspended for multiple weeks fame. Bunty Afoa, great name. Again, Bunty, like that's a good name.
Bunty's a great name. Not to be mistaken for Bounty.
The chocolate bar?
Yes. Or the Hunter.
I prefer the chocolate bar.
Well,
Shocker.
Dog was the hunter. He was a bounty hunter. His name was Dog.
There, you could just be called a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Do you know what a
Pre-dog.
bounty hunter is?
I know, yeah, they
Do
hunt.
you know what a
for-
bounty is?
Yeah.
Have you had a bounty in your life?
I've had a chocolate bar and I don't like them.
You've had a bounty chocolate bar?
Yeah. They're
You
not
don't
that
like
good. Coconut? No,
Yeah.
Not for
Yeah.
me.
You don't like coconut?
Not a huge coconut guy.
No coconut guy.
Not a huge coconut guy.
What are you?
I don't. What
What sort of guy are you, Dave?
What do you eat? What
Oh, no.
meals do you enjoy?
Yeah, because like you don't have a coffee. We offer you a coffee every time you come in here. You don't have a coffee. I've never seen him eat food.
I've never seen you eat.
Is he a left robot?
What do you mean?
I've never
I had
seen you
a fishbowl
eat.
with you guys the other day.
A what?
A fishbowl.
No, I didn't see that.
But I didn't see you eat
No,
it.
I didn't see you eat it.
We
I've
went
never
for
seen you eat
schnitties like
food.
2 weeks ago.
What do we have?
We had schnitties.
I didn't see you eat that.
No, I didn't
either.
see him eat that either.
I've never seen you put food in your mouth.
The only thing that goes into my mouth is smoke of different varieties.
Yeah, he just.
I'm not taking the piss either. I know you. We went and had schnitzels. I don't remember you eating it.
No, I don't think he ate it.
I don't think you ate it either.
No, I never saw him eat it.
Fuck, I want a schnitzel right
Yeah, I know, dude.
I want to go to the pub and I want to have a schnitzel with chips.
No, we're
and
going to
gravy,
exercise, Eddie.
and I
Stay
wanna have
strong. Fucking schooners.
6 VBs.
No.
6 blokes.
6 blokes. Well, the only problem is, the only reason you say that was they didn't serve blokes at the new market, which they should. Okay, then we've got Sean Kepi and Martin Tapau play Aaron Penne and Bailey Sirenen.
That's the Warriors. Manly 13 plus.
Yeah.
Shout out to KO.
Shout out to KO. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Rugby League. Shout out to Ray Warren. Shout out to Elon Musk. Fuck you to Dave.
Fuck you, Dave. Shout out to Steph Allen, dear friend.
Shout out to Steph Allen. Love you, Dale.
Love you.
Thinking
Thoughts
of
of
you.
you. Love you. Love you, love you, love you. Punters and dribblers, fucking go jam yourselves. But also
Go
love you.
jam yourselves.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's time for me to go.
go jam yourselves. My God. Like, subscribe, 5 stars.
Go Kambosos.
Go Kambosos. Go Manly. Go jam yourself.
Could you two just not talk anymore?